All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic day. Welcome back, guys, to some more Fortnite Battle Royale, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, Sammy, welcome to the stream. You're the very first person over here on Twitch. I appreciate it. Yo, Go Easy Pump, King of the Bears. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you guys all coming out. What's up, Felt Kitty? How you today, Mustafa? What's up, Dash? Crazy Gold, Dom, Derek, Sayo, Lils, welcome to the stream. Yo, did notifications not go out here on YouTube? What the heck? Yo, Super Pumpkinhead, how you doing today, my guy? Welcome to the stream, dude. Welcome. Appreciate you guys all coming out. Appreciate it. Damn, it seems like notifications are really struggling here right now. That is unfortunate, man. Low RIP notifications for real. Dr. Clutch, I didn't get notified. Yeah, I don't think notifications went out at all for this stream. Wow. What's up, Fast Builder? Oh, there we go. I think notifications are just coming in now. Wow, they were just really delayed. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Just got the notification. All right, so I think the notification was just a little bit delayed, but it's going out now. Yo, welcome to the stream, everybody. Appreciate you guys all coming out. Welcome. What's up, Magical King? What's up, Jack? What's up, Dominic? Got a notification? All right, cool. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Appreciate you guys all coming out. Appreciate it. Let me make sure everything is all set and tuned here properly, and then we can go ahead and get started. I think I forgot to do something over on my Twitch stream. 1 second. All right. Update that. Perfect. What's up, Werewolf? Hey, today, Aris. What's up, Aaron? Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome. All right, guys. So first thing that I want to let you guys know, this stream is actually sponsored. Again, I did a sponsored stream in the past, and this one is actually sponsored by Hotel Artemis. If you guys didn't know, Hotel Artemis is an action thriller movie that's actually going to be coming out. I believe, I want to get this right, June 8th, but you can actually start purchasing tickets on May 28th. So it's an action thriller movie, like I said, including a cast of Jodie Foster, Dave Bautista, Sterling Brown. It takes place in an overnight. It takes place in one night in a hospital for members-only elite criminals. And the nurse is Jodie Foster, so she's pretty much helping to protect and keep alive these criminal elites. So it's a really high, really action-packed trailer. What I'm going to do right now is go ahead and show you guys a trailer that's going to go ahead and pop up on screen right now to kind of give you guys a taste of exactly what this movie is going to be about and hopefully get you guys a little bit excited for it. It should pop up here any second. Let's go ahead and start it. So I believe, okay, so I don't, okay, gotcha. All right, yeah, so I'm going to show you guys, so the trailer is going to come up on screen here, I think, in a little bit later in the stream, but pretty much, yeah, Hotel Artemis, a movie that's going to be coming out later, I believe, yeah, June 28th. So like I said, you can start pre-ordering tickets actually on May 28th. So it's super stylish. The guy who actually wrote and directed it, Drew Pearce, was also the same guy that did, I want to make sure I get this right. He also did Iron Man 3. He did Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. He did Sherlock Holmes 3. So this guy definitely knows what he's doing. And honestly, I love action thriller movies. And this is definitely going to be something you guys will want to check out. Futuristic tech, futuristic weapons, and high action, which I know you guys are definitely going to be interested in. So hopefully you guys check it out. Like I said, you can start pre-purchasing tickets May 28th. And then the movie actually does go into theaters on June 8th, which is really exciting and really cool. So hopefully you guys will go ahead and consider checking the movie out. And if you guys want to actually check out the full trailer for it, like I said, I'll be showing that on stream here a little bit later, but there's also a link to it in the description down below if you guys are curious and want to check it out. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and hop into a solo. I'm beautiful. What's up, Gino? What's up, AK? Do Close Encounters? I don't think Close Encounters is back in yet, is it? Hold on, let me actually go ahead and double check, because we were playing that game earlier today, and you guys know we were having a ton of fun in that game mode. Yeah, they still haven't added it back, man. They still haven't added it back, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys most likely saw my video, but yeah. I honestly, I don't know why they, like, the only thing I can guess why they took it out, and it was something that I noticed in the gameplay, and those of you guys who watched it, is that it actually contained ammo for weapons other than shotguns. Link doesn't work in the description. Hold on. Hold on 1 sec, guys. What's up, Carnage? What's up, Nexel? Welcome to the stream. Let me go. I'll get these donations here in just a second, guys. What's up, Pro Matt? What's up, Daniel? That is weird. Yeah, I know, man. I don't know why they would take it out. So it just, yeah, I don't really get it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me, but let's go ahead and check out and see if this link actually does work. No, the link works. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the link works. It might not work if you're watching on mobile. Because I think for some reason, whenever you're watching on mobile, you can't click the link. Which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why that happens. But it's just the way it is, I guess. Yeah, it does work, the link in the description. Yeah, it does work. Alright, let's go Pleasant Park to start things off. Are you changing your name to Hennis? I don't know, man. I've put a little bit more thought to it, but to be honest with you, I think I'm just going to stick with Pro Hennis. I don't think I'm really going to go ahead and change it. I like your videos, and I hope you could do more streams. Thank you, Katie. Will do, man. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. What's up, C. Dylan? What's up, JC Cooper? What's up, Pablo? Yeah, they took stuff out because the ammo can be found right. And they're making it right. They're making it shotgun-only ammo. So that makes sense, because that was the only weird thing that I was running into. Cool. Oh, shoot. I don't have my donations up over there. So, we had King Vargas come in with a $2. Says, hey, Hennis, you're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much, man, for the compliment. I really appreciate that, bro. And then Chase Keller with the 2 says, you're the best YouTuber. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. I appreciate it a ton, my guy. Thank you so much. Yikes, a little bit of lag right there. Ooh, wow, we're definitely getting a lot of lag. What is this? Okay, I think it's going down a little bit. Yeah, it's going down a little bit. My ping in the upper left was like insane. Alright, cool. What's up, Evan? What's up, Kyle Beck? What's up, Palmer? Ooh, damn. I think it's just honestly just the servers. Yeah, because I'm not dropping any frames or anything, so this is servers, unfortunately. Dang, that really sucks, man. These gunfights are going to be really, really bad. If the stream starts lagging, let me know, guys, but I'm pretty sure this is just all Fortnite lag. I honestly thought there was another person in here, but I guess not. I'll definitely take this, though. Let's get it. Where'd you get where'd I get my PC from? I got my PC from iBuyPower, man. I highly recommend them. iBuyPower is amazing. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but iBuyPower is dope. Stream's not lagging? Okay, cool. What's my stream schedule? So what I'm trying to stick to right now is I'm doing morning streams. Morning streams starting around, like, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then night stream starting at my usual time, too. Oh, he just edited out? Or she? I think she did. Oh, there's actually a guy in here. What the heck? There's somebody in here. You guys heard him, right? Whoa, that's a weird lag right there. Hold on, I think this guy might be in here. Yep, he is. Got him. Nice, dudes. Let's go. Alright, give me that. Swap that out. I want a regular AR, honestly, too, if I can get that. But I think we'll just stick with that for right now. Yeah. What's up, King Gamer? What do I know if I'll be live on June 10th? I imagine I'll be live on June 10th, man. I've got no reason not to be. What's up, Nasty Eye? He's got to peek up on me, man. I don't have any shield or anything, and he has shield. This was the same guy I was shooting at before. Oh, should not have done that. Honestly, I think I'm just going to try to push her. See how it ends up working out. Can't tell if she backed up or not. Oh, really? Did you just die from fall damage? No! What? Alright, well, GG's, man, I guess. Hoping to have a slightly better fight than that, but nonetheless, that will have to do. Oh, am I seriously all... Oh, I don't have any more building material. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Yo, if you guys are enjoying the live stream, definitely make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe as well if you guys are new. Seriously appreciate all the love today, guys. Might as well take the green one. Alright, we do have to get out of here too. Hold on. Oh, actually, yeah, we're gonna go check that loot over there. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and check that out. Because I think, honestly, if they have more building material, that's gonna be so worth it. Because I feel so naked without any building material, dude. Getting in build fights and running out of building material. I've told you guys this a million times, but it is my worst fear. Always. Oh, okay. So that person just had pumps and a sniper, which we already had. Damn, so there's a lot of snipers around here, man. That's crazy. Holy Jesus, man. What the heck? Yo, Dalton back in here with a $100 donation, man. Yo, Dalton, you're an absolute god. If you guys don't know who Dalton is, he supports the stream so much. He donated, like, I think he went back-to-back days donating $500. The guy is absolutely insane. Dalton, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that a ton, my guy. Let's get some Dalton hype in the chat, dudes. Holy crap. He says, first game, win, auto luck. Have fun, my dude. Keep the content going. Thank you so much, Dalton, for the 100, man. Oh, my God. Yo, Dalton, I don't know. So, hold on. I haven't updated the donation leaderboard since the last time you had a big donation spree. So, I'm pretty sure this is all updated. Whoa. That. Holy lag. Hello, face? All right, you guys can't see my face, but that image that image does show on the right-hand side there where exactly you are in the donation leaderboard. You're in 3rd place, man. That's just after a couple streams, too. That's crazy, dude. Dude, what happened to my face cam? My face, like... Honestly, my face is probably overheated. Too attractive. Get it back on. There we go. What happened to the sub count, too? Alright. Damn, dude. Streaming PC really out here. Streaming PC really out here, though. So when's the face reveal? There we go. There we go. How do I sponsor? So if you do want to sponsor, man, there's a sponsor button, like right next to the sub button. Below the video player. Llama210, you missed it. Now you're in second. Oh, are you actually in 2nd place? I didn't check. Yeah, it's really hard to beat out GrifTuck. GrifTuck has donated a lot for sure. Yeah, sub count's working now though, guys. This is actually gonna be way too easy of a shot. What? Oh, I thought it was gonna be, dude. Honestly, imagine if we hit that. Whoa. That tree just got brighter as we were standing here. That person's balls to be taking shots that far. We need to find some shield is what we need to do. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not dealing with it. I ain't with it. FPS lag is crazy. I'm thinking about turning down my settings. Did the Yankees win? Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. Didn't Gleyber Torres come in with a few more clutch home runs? Pretty sure he did. Let's get it. If I hit a no-scope? I mean, we could have, but we honestly, I think we had that shot a little bit too high on that guy. I overestimated how far away he was. Ooh. Something's going on in here. Yep, here we go. Oh, whoa. Oh, we should not have taken that shot. Whoa. I'm all out of building material already. We hit him. Dead. Oh, shoot. What? Oh, we hit him again, man. That guy was super weak. We lagged a little bit there, though. But honestly, he nailed the shots. GG's, bro. I messed up on that. I shouldn't have built so much. I was not appreciating. We knew we were just so low on building material. I shouldn't have done that. GG's, though, man. Well played, well played. A good game, brother. A good game. right, cool. Lag, yeah, I honestly think it tripped out a little bit. I'm gonna try to go ahead and turn down my graphics settings a little bit more. We've got pretty much everything on low. We'll try turning everything off and just see how it looks. I'm gonna cap my FPS at. I might as well cap it at 144 maybe. And we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully that doesn't make the game look too bad. I just don't like these like white edges we're getting, and I think that's anti-aliasing. That's so annoying. Caleb with a $2 says, love the streams. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it, man. What's up, Nye, bro? Do I play on Xbox? No, I play on the PC, man. I'll rock with a different skin because you guys want me to. Might change it afterwards. Duo with Ninja sometime? Trust me, man. I would love to do it with Ninja one day. But got a long ways to go before that can happen, man. Whoa, we getting more lag right now? I think it's better now. I honestly don't think it's good to cap FPS at 140 because I think that just doesn't allow it to go any higher than that. I'm going to cap it at 180. There you go, that's better. I don't know why my PC can't go any like higher than that either. That's so weird. Samuel says 200 if you win this one. Yo, that's pressure, bro. I don't know if I like that. Be the Skull Trooper? I don't have the Skull Trooper, man. Wish I did have that skin. That'd be sick. Yo, it's Viking. What's up, my man? Welcome back to the stream, brother. What's up, FTW? Alright, as long as we honestly just don't have this lag. I gotta turn on my thing over there, man, so I can see exactly what donations are coming in. Dalton, bruh. Evan the Lion also came with $1.11. Says, did you get the new skin? Yeah, you're talking about the Merman. I did get the Merman skin, bro. Absolutely. Dude, Dalton. Just donated another $100, man. No, stop fighting. If he one hits me, I'm gonna be so mad. HeNis, I'm actually so bad. Oh my god, dude. I was literally about to choke that. What, was that for me? No way that was for me, right? Hold on. Shoot, only ammo? Are you serious? Do something good, bro. These chests look so bad now. Oh, that's so annoying. Hold on. We're just gonna heal up with this. But dude, Dalton. I love how everyone is surprising. King of the Bears is like, yeah, it's as usual. Dude. You know, let's get some Dalton spam in the chat, guys. Like, for real. Dalton spams. I seriously appreciate it, guys. He's on the first floor right there. Holy lag, brother. Oh, shoot. I'm dead. Oh! Oh, shoot, actually. Hold on. Isn't there a pump up there? Here we go. Here's the stuff. Oh, 2 pumps? Never mind. Do that. This is really bad. Dude, this guy hits nasty shots, man. Dude! Oh, this is so annoying. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, dude, good shot, man. Good shot. GG's, brother. GG's. But Dalton with a $100 donation says, no, sir, donation leaderboard is mine. Dalton, thank you so much for another 100, dude. You're insane, man. You're absolutely insane, brother. Thank you so much for the 100, man. You're insane. How do you feel about solid gold? I like solid gold. I like it a lot. The only thing that kind of pisses me off is that it's really hard to get shotguns. And it feels weird, man. It's really hard to get shotguns. And because it only comes into squad mode, for me, like, I'm somebody who likes to play more solos. Like, when I'm playing solos, it sucks to go up against a team of people who are just going to, like, annihilate RPG after RPG at you, you know? That's what I find most frustrating about it, but... let's go ahead and get my thing up here. I gotta get my stream thing. Alright, cool. Yo, appreciate all the love, guys. If you guys haven't dropped a like in the stream yet, make sure you guys do that. Would really appreciate it. Obviously, subscribe if you guys are new. Let's get it, man. We're going tilted. Play Close Encounters, bro. Is it actually back? I'll check out to this game. I don't think it is back, but if it is back, I'll definitely play it for sure. 100%. Have you ever considered playing PUBG? I've played PUBG in the past. Not really a big fan of it though, if I'm being honest. What's paying attention to my drop? Who's better, Ninja or Tfue? I don't really talk about who's better, man. They're both amazing players. It's so hard to tell. Like, you can't ignore stats, right? Like, Ninja's got the most kills, I'm pretty sure, out of any Fortnite player. But Tfue's also an amazing player, you know? It's really hard to tell, man. Really, really hard to tell. Both are amazing. Oh. What? I just realized they destroyed that chest, didn't they? Unless that other guy opened it up. I guess. Weasel by the way to 2 says, hey Hannah, sorry I'm late. No worries, brother. No worries, my man. Where? Wait, what? Oh, my whole game freeze, bro. Yes! What the heck? Okay, okay. My shot was so bad there, man. You guys are all good players. Such a bad position right now, man. Was there actually a blue pump? That's alright. Thanks. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kenny, I'm just going to be playing solos for right now. I'll definitely hit you up for duos probably later this stream, though. Absolutely. I'm really feeling myself right now, though. So I kind of want to just practice solos. But I'll be sure to hit you up later, man. You haven't added me back on Snapchat yet? I know, man. I can't add any more people back because my Snapchat friends list is full, actually. Where'd you go? Oh my god. Nice shot, man. Oh, grr. Nice shots, bro. GG's, man. I edited it up and I should have edited it out faster, but... GG's. Oh, let me go to change my skin here real quick. Rid-it-dit-did-doo. Rid-it-dit-did-doo. What's up, Dragons? What's up, Teja? Welcome to the stream. First hit a solo homer to give the Yankees the lead in the 7th. Oh, is that what happened? Gotcha, gotcha. Yo, if you guys are enjoying the stream, though, definitely make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe if you guys are new. When you subscribe, you'll see your names appear right above the face cam. Appreciate all the love, my dudes. Appreciate it. Yo, somebody with a Twitter username of Ninja's Hyper just liked my tweet. I don't actually think it's Ninja's Hyper, though. I'm willing to bet money. Yeah, it's not. What up, Jordan Hill? What are the things next to the names? Yeah, so some people have mod and some people have sponsor next to their name. For some reason, it's showing mod and sponsor next to people's names who aren't even mod or sponsor, which is really weird. Do you want a duo? Sorry, Cloud. I'm just playing solos right now, man. If I play duos later, I'm probably going to be playing with Kenny. A little bit. What do I use to stream? I use OBS. I use OBS to live stream. Please play Close Encounters. Yo, if Close Encounters is back in, guys, I'll definitely play that for sure. I just don't think it's back. I don't think it's back yet. What does hashtag ad mean? So this stream is actually sponsored by Hotel Artemis. I talked a little bit about it at the beginning. It's a movie that I'm helping to promote. And I'll be talking about it a little bit more throughout the stream. So if you missed it and you're confused and you want to learn more, I'll be sure to talk about it a little bit more. Come on, man. I'm so upset right now. I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Break out, break out, break out. Ah! I just hated myself. GG's. Why did I throw that? Why did I throw that? That doesn't make any sense. I completely potatoed right there. Holy crap. All right. Oh, I was going to check and see if that game mode was in. Oh, yeah, Close Encounters is back in, guys. Why do you guys keep saying Close Encounters is back in? I talked about it in my video today, that it was not in the game. Right? You're so good at Fortnite. I know, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, 200 IQ plays. Yeah, let's get a pro 200 IQ in the chat. Hello, I'm new to this channel. You seem like a good YouTuber. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate it, man. I try my best, dude. Can you add me on PS4? Sorry, my PS4 friends list is full. Stupid idiot with that grenade. I know, man. It's not like I can't even make the excuse that I thought I had minis and I clicked because I thought I was going to apply a mini. I just genuinely thought that, like, oh yeah, here, throwing this will be a good idea. Alright, if I see one more person tell me to play Close Encounters, I think I might lose my mind. Sabotage. How's your day? Yo, Nana B, it's going pretty good. We had good luck landing at Pleasant first game, so let's do that. One thing I definitely need to get better at in Fortnite is just playing faster. Need to make quicker, sharper decisions. That would help me out a lot, just in terms of gameplay. Yo, Tracy, thank you so much. How are you? Yo, Pro Matt. I'm doing good, man. We had a really solid morning stream today that went really, really well. A lot of support in that one, which is awesome, because I definitely am trying to grow my morning streams a lot more. Damn. Really feeling myself out here. You're in for a surprise, aren't you? Really? What was that, dude? You like started to come in and then stopped? Try to edit too much. Really want to get faster with editing though. Alright, we're learning. Pretty sure there is more people here. I shall know where. Here we go. Do I actually want to apply that? I don't think so. Hey, the jetpack? No, I'm not a big fan of the jetpack, man. I don't want to give up anything for it either. I mean... I don't know, chat. What do you if I ask you guys what you guys want me to do, you guys are all just gonna say take it. Alright, I'll take it. Especially too, since we're this close to a gas station. I kinda wanna test it out. Cause we can refill it at a gas station, right? Can't we refill it? Get ourselves some more fuel? Pretty sure. We're definitely not getting rid of a shotgun. You guys are absolutely hella delusional if you think I'm dropping a shotgun. Jetpack is stupid? Oh, we're giving it a shot now, man. I honestly thought you guys were all going to say take it, but alright, I guess I know now for future. Future reference not to take it. You guys also think it's stupid. You can't refuel it? Oh. Yeah, I completely walked by here meaning to test that. I honestly thought you could. That'd be so lit. So lit, dude. What happened to my pickaxe? Did you guys see that? First of all, this kid just hit probably the nuttiest shot I've ever seen in my life. Not really, I was standing still. But what happened to my pickaxe? And I'm standing there trying to figure out what happened and I get sniped? Really? It's cool, dude. I'm not even mad. Not even mad. Feel sad, man. Feel sad. What's up, gamer boy? What are the coins things for? Yeah, so every single viewer earns 10 coins every 10 minutes they watch the stream. Unless you're a sponsor. Then if you're a sponsor, you earn 20 coins every 10 minutes you watch the stream. And you can use those coins to enter into giveaways that I run at the end of every month on my channel. So we're going to be doing, yeah, we're going to be doing a giveaway in like 5 days here. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, the more you guys watch the stream, the more coins you have, the greater chance you have of winning. That's pretty much the premise behind it. Pretty cool. I think you're better at cup pong than Fortnite. False. I am horrible at cup pong. Cup pong is way too RNG for me. I hate it. But I love it at the same time. I was talking to a friend earlier today. We were on Discord. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, like, we're talking about cup pong, like the game on iMessage. And he said to me, he was like, yeah, bro. He was like, I don't like to play cup pong because cup pong is way too RNG, so let's play Uno instead. He's like, there's too much luck involved in cup pong. Let's play Uno. I'm like, are you kidding me? What is joining on this? Am I gonna sync up with somebody? I gotta sync up with the we're close. Best Mates is better. Best Mates is definitely a good dance. Sup, Menace? I love your videos. I used to watch your BO3 Zombies modded stuff. They were the best. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the content, brother.
Thank you for your support, good sir. What's the new skin? The newest one is the merman skin. That's what you're talking about. I used to watch your one window challenges. Oh, dude, I haven't done one of those in a long time. Yeah, one window challenges were super popular on my channel. Yeah? No, hey, come back in. Come back in. I know you want to. Of course you decided to go that way. Good shots, Hennis? Question mark? You're an amazing YouTuber. Thank you so much, Nick West. I appreciate the compliment, my man. Yikes. Move! Huh? I'm honestly gonna just get down from there, dude. I'm not even gonna deal with this guy. I honestly hate when you go to swipe those edits too quick and it just makes a door instead. That's the most crippling thing of all time. Hate it. Okay. Where's your sniper, dude? Wait, oh, I hate this. Oh my days, bro. I hate that so much. Ah! That's a yikes. Wasn't there bandages back in here? Something. Fucking called it, dude. I gotta make sure I'm doing those full swipes. Oh, is close encounters back? Oh, lit. Yeah, maybe we'll play a little bit close encounters in a bit. Whew. Did they update Minecraft? The graphics look so good now? Yeah, dude, for real. They look insane, don't they? Am I a pro? No. I just enjoy playing the game, man. I am not a part of any pro team. He actually just turned and changed directions. You guys see that? Oh, way too high. What was that? Didn't realize the storm, dude. Shoot. Ah, GG's, my man. Do duos anything, but solos is boring? Solos is boring? What? I think solos is wicked fun, man. Personally. So much more high action pack, man, I think. Wait. Stuck me. He actually stuck me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my god. Dude. Drank the potions and stuck me. Maybe it didn't stick me though. Maybe it went on the wall behind me and the splash damage got me. I didn't think the damage was that high though. Dude. That's tough, man. That's tough. Close Encounters is actually back. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Is it actually back? Yeah, they did have back. Yeah, see, they only have it for duos or squads. I'm gonna play a few more solos though. If I do duos, it'll be with Kenny for sure. Having graduated high school, do you have tips on not procrastinating? We're gonna give it to you straight. We have no idea what just happened, but a programmer says something's wrong. Maybe try again. Okay. What's the skin that came out today? There's no new skins out today, man. This is just all the same skins that we've had before. There's no new ones. That's clever. That's cool. I like that. I'll get that one. Heck yeah. Was it 2? Welcome to the stream, my guy. Appreciate all the support, guys. Holy crap. I'm just looking back at the donations and seeing Dalton's donations, bro. He's an absolute legend. That's just crazy. But it's that much. Almost 500 likes in the stream, guys. Appreciate all the love. Oh, man. Hennis loves me. Facts, Smokey. Facts. Jason Kennedy with another 2 says, go Nats for rowing tomorrow. I still love you, by the way. Yo, good luck. Yeah, Jason Kennedy, that's right, because you're really into rowing. Good luck on rowing. I don't know too much about it, so I'm just going to say good luck on rowing. Best of luck, man. Do your best. The ProHype Army wishes you good luck, kind sir. Go here. On the road to 400k, almost at 400k, guys. Crazy. Super duper cool just to think about that. That's one of the nerdiest things I've ever said. Super duper cool. Hello, my dude. What's up, Jeremiah? I think YouTube fixed whatever issues they were having with people appearing to be sponsors and mods when they're really not, so that's good. That's a plus. I like that. Do random duos? I might do some random duos, guys, yeah. That's what I told Kenny, too, because I know Kenny asked to do duos, and I might do duos with him, but at the same time, I really like to do random duos, just because that oftentimes can give me really good content to upload, and I'm kind of in need of content right now. So, I kind of want to play some random duos, and random duos are really fun, too. Don't get me wrong. So. Gotta get all that building material, man. Behind me. Jeez. Everybody say King Richard is in his game, but he's not in my game. Can you do close encounters or random duos? We'll do a little bit of both of that today, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I got you guys. If you guys, by the way, I have a tweet over on my Twitter. I don't know if any mods are in here that can kind of help me out with this. Oh, I'm not taking the jetpack. I don't know if there's any mods in here that can help me out with this, but I quote tweeted a tweet earlier today that's really going to help me try to get into a Fortnite Saturday tourney. The first official Fortnite Saturday tourney, which I believe is happening a week from tomorrow. So if you guys could go over to my Twitter and retweet that tweet, and the reason I ask, if there's any mods in here, if you guys could link that tweet, I would really, really appreciate it. My Twitter's @proHype. What I basically just need you guys to do is just go over there and like and retweet the tweet. Just make sure it gets the attention that it needs. Just because I want to make sure I meet the qualifications, but I just want to make sure that I don't get overshadowed or there's not any mistakes made, because I really do want to participate in this tournament. But it's pretty much exactly like Fortnite Saturday, except for like smaller streamers and stuff. So if you guys wouldn't mind helping me out, I'd really, really appreciate it. Definitely help me out a lot. My Twitter's @proHype. If you can go over there, it's one of my most recent tweets. You can see it. I'm asking everybody to just like and retweet it. And like and retweet the tweet that I quoted. I'd really appreciate it. Really help me out a lot. What's up, Crazy Melon? I'd appreciate it, guys. We're gonna have to spice it up and land somewhere different, man. I run the same routes all the time. That was dirty. Can I really not jump up there? Are you kidding me? Oh wow, there's a lot of loot around here. Yo, Aiden also came with a 2, says, love the stream, bro. Keep it up. Thank you so much for the compliment, man. I appreciate it, brother. Realize we have 2 jump pads now, too. Whoa, whoa. Really, Hennis? Really? Missed a scar? I don't think I missed a scar, guys. That just, oh, I thought I almost made the same mistake again. I was about to be so mad. How did that destroy those pallets, man? That's literally what I was going for. Was that me? Oh, that I edit. That's probably one of the best examples I've ever seen. Here he is. GG's, man. You should do pranks on people? What do you mean do pranks on people, man? You should change your title to pro 13-year-old streamer, easy views, bro. I know. Have you seen that kid that's like 13 years old and gets like a crap ton of views? It's crazy. I haven't really watched too much of his gameplay, so I don't know if he's like insanely good or not, but. Alright, let's get to the safe zone. BOZ Hunter, appreciate you stopping up by the stream, man. Hopefully all's been well with you, bro. Get me to the safe zone. Honestly, I don't think he's that good, but he's super kind. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, hey, that's really what you got to look for in a streamer, right? I think. I mean, obviously skill matters, but like. Yikes! Did I screw up? Yeah, might have. Oh, he's got a scar too. Yikes. Oh, yikes. Oh, he's got a jetpack, bro. Oh, no, this is not good. Shoot there, dude. Why did the sniper not shoot, bro? He's gonna die from fall damage. What? I meant to edit that, bro. I pressed, yeah. Tried to press my edit button and I screwed up. GG's, man. Yo, JK Army, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it, man. He said, ha ha hi. What's up, bro? Appreciate the love, my dude. We gotta loot this guy quick. No shield for me, bro? You serious? I'm honestly super upset that we didn't hit that first sniper shot on him. I can't get back to my jump pad now. It's gonna be in the storm. All good though. We have another one. What the hell's happening here? Oh, shoot. And I'm dead. I screwed up on the shots, bro. I screwed up on the editing and I screwed up on the shots, man. GG to that guy, though. That guy was nailing me. Fighting for high ground is always so hard, bro. Yes. Can definitely feel myself, like, getting better, though. Like, as we keep practicing and as we keep, like, practicing editing, as we keep practicing our shot, switching between stuff quickly. Honestly, what we need to keep doing. You freaking G's. That was sick. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys do go ahead and drop a like in the stream. Subscribe if you guys are new. Hey, yo, Z. I'm just going to call you guys Z. Honestly. Z. I can't. Z-Giant? Something like that. I'm so sorry if I'm completely butchering that. All right, guys. But I got to go ahead and make a quick announcement. If you guys didn't know, this stream is sponsored by Hotel Artemis. It's a movie that's actually coming into theater starting June 28th. Or excuse me, June 8th. But you can start pre-ordering tickets on May 28th. Hotel Artemis is the name of the movie. I'm super pumped about this film. It looks really action-packed and really intense. If you guys don't know anything about it, there is a trailer in the description down below that can show you the full cast. I know Jodie Foster's in it. She plays the main nurse. It's actually based all during one night in an emergency room in a secret medical hospital for criminal elites. So there's insane action fights. I believe the guy who wrote and directed it also did Iron Man. He also did, Sherlock Holmes 3. And then I believe he also did one more movie. I'm forgetting it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. But I'm going to go and show you guys the trailer right now. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, make sure you guys look at it and make sure you guys check it out. And like I said, if you do want to check out the trailer, the link is in the description down below. So hopefully that'll all pop up on screen here in a second. I think it will anyway. Maybe it won't. Never mind. Time for that. Yeah, Hotel Artemis is the name of the movie. Definitely make sure you guys check it out. We're going to play, I think, one more solo, I think is what we're going to do. And then we're going to go ahead and do some random duos. Because I really want to get a solo in, man. I seriously want to get a solo in. We need the trailer link over here, too. Oh, shoot. True. I don't have the link over on Twitch. My bad. My bad. Random duos after this, guys. I promise. Close Encounters is back. Yeah, I definitely want to check out Close Encounters. Check Twitter? I'll check Twitter right now, man. I got you. Yo, thank you to everybody who's showing love on that tweet to Keemstar too and UMG. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't check everything on Twitter right now, guys, but how you doing, Hennessy? Pedro, I'm doing pretty good. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Jess? What's up, Dylan? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Did I miss any donos? I don't think I did. No, I'm all set. Oh, let's go tilted. Whoa. Hit a full 360. What's up, Jess? Yo, Bob, I appreciate the compliment, man. Thank you, dude. Bob says I'm cool. What's up, Mr. Vines? What's up, Aaron Jackson? Look at that, 60, 70 FPS. That's so bad. It's because of all the players, too. Alright, but we'll do some random duos after this, guys. I promise. Servers? Hello? What was that? I literally just stopped right in my tracks. That was so weird. Oh, of course. Nice. I honestly, I felt that. I felt that was gonna happen, dude. Feels bad, man. Screwed that up, man, because I can't reclose that. That was such a stupid play. Oh man. What's up, King Baz? All right, let's go ahead and do it, guys. We're gonna hop into some random duos. Fill, accept. And we'll go with a skin for this one. My whole family subscribed to you. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it, man. You guys all watch my streams together? That's actually lit. Push talk is on. All right, cool. Hi, cutie. Oh my god, is that KARNAGEclan? I wonder who that could be. Honestly, wonder who that could be. All right, do some random duos. Let's see what interesting characters we can meet here today. Yo, what's up, my man?
Bragging, cuz.
Wow, your mic is loud. What's up, man?
That shit, homie. I'm taking a hit real quick. Hold on.
What? You're taking a what?
Taking a hit.
Dude. Dude. Ah, that's cool.
What, dude? Jumping over here.
Where you going? Oh, damn. You're going all the way up there?
Fucking landing. Hell yeah, I'm a fucking god, bro.
I know a lot of guys that land at Junction.
You don't even know who I am, do you?
It's Wody Baby.
Yeah, you'll learn who I am.
Alright, I'm ready. Are you good at this game?
Kinda popular, man.
You are? Are you a streamer? YouTuber?
We got about 3,000 people watching.
Oh, for real?
Get this money, cuz.
Damn.
Gotta take this legal hit real quick.
Is this guy for real? Is he actually a streamer? With 3,000 viewers? Damn, dude, I'm kind of nervous. Never played with a streamer before.
For everything.
I'm letting a little short.
For sure, short. Damn it. Is anyone here with us?
I didn't see anybody.
You
No.
take that to your right. I'll take left side. And split it up. Yeah, yeah. There's a guy above you. Above you. Above you. Above you. House on me.
I don't have a weapon yet.
I'm dead.
Okay.
He's gonna jump off and kill me.
Come over to you.
Maybe not. On my side.
GG's, bro.
Alright, let's go back to normal television. I wish you were here. Get the fuck out of my way, bitch. Are you good? This is a real question, bro.
I'm good, man.
How do I know that?
Oh, you're talking about, like, am I feeling good, or do I think I'm a good player?
You don't love me or what? You not hear me?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You're just a god out here or what in these streets?
I think I'm alright. Nothing special.
Don't sell yourself short, bro.
How does it feel to stream for 3,000 people, though? I've never done that before.
It's alright.
Are you live right now?
Only because.
Oh yeah, you said you were.
What?
What's your channel?
I don't know if I can tell you, bro. I'll tell you after, so you don't get nervous. How about that?
Okay, for sure. I got you. That makes
You
sense.
have no idea what's going on, do you?
No, I actually don't.
Yes, you know who I am. Funny. Isn't that weird?
No, I don't know who you are.
Oh, you for sure know who I am, if I told you. Alright, cuz, let's go to jump. Bubbles.
Yo, somebody look up his stats.
Or dude, your name looks familiar.
Mine does?
I'm not even bullshitting. I could just be high as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't think I've duoed with you before. I do random duos every now and then, but
Uh-oh. I don't know. Your name is familiar as fuck for some weird ass reason. Do you have any heavy ammo?
I think I might.
Big motherfucking
Actually, I do not know. He's full of it? Oh, 100% he's full of it, dude. 100% he's full of it. Alright, yeah. I mean, I'll do my best, but...
No, you're gonna win. Lately one's here. Smoke the devil's lettuce?
Do I? No, I do not.
Yeah. There's a med kit right here. Big shield out back for you, big guy.
Oh,
Top
perfect.
off out here.
Where is it? Over here,
down here by me.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep, I see it. Hold on, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off push to talk so I can talk to this guy.
It's a motherfucking heavy ammo, bruh.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have any heavy shots for you.
What'd you say?
I said I don't have any heavy for you, unfortunately.
Oh, it's all good. I was talking just to the Fortnite gods.
Oh, I thought you were talking to your chat. 3,000 people?
Oh, no. No, dude, I don't really, I only have viewers for who I am.
You only have what?
Like, I'm a popular person. Like, people, I'm a gamer.
Oh, okay. You're like
Yeah,
you're like a gaming entertainer, like a YouTuber, or are you live on YouTube or Twitch? Or like
I'm not a YouTuber. I'm like, I don't know how to say it without sounding like a douchebag, so I usually don't really go into it.
Oh, okay.
You know who I am.
Right. No. Yeah, no, you don't come across as a douchebag at all.
That's very vague. That's very vague, but about as much as I can say.
Yo, what level are you in this game?
What level am I?
Yeah.
Tier wise or the other?
Like
level?
just yeah, like not tier wise, but just like your level for this season.
I think not very high at all. What are you?
I think I actually don't even know. I forget. I think I'm in the 50s or 60s or so.
Have you got the axe for your guy yet?
I don't even know, to be honest. Yeah, the carbide guy. I don't know.
Yeah, level 65.
I haven't even checked. I might have it, but I don't know. Where's this chest?
Where you at? Below you.
Yeah, there it is. Found it.
You ever land over here? Probably not, huh?
No, I don't really land here too often. I'm more of like a...
So many chests, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Like, you landing where? What's your spot to drop?
I usually I like salty a lot. I'll go salty. I'll go retail.
Do you? That's my second. I would have gone there. That's my bad. This place is always like no one comes here.
Yeah, it's got
like,
good loot too.
All the chests we're hitting. I mean, you don't know where they're at, so I'm getting them all. But like, what do you need? I guess.
Right now I'm all set. If you found an extra pump, I'll take that because I'm a double pumper. But pretty much it.
I think I found one.
I'll go check this house up here.
Double pumping because I got the tag. Oh right, here's a green pump for you.
Oh, perfect.
See, when you speak, dude, they listen.
Exactly.
Come to this wall. Right there, homie.
Perfect. Thank you.
Dude, I like the I double pump, but I got the blue tag, and that thing hits like a truck.
Yeah, it really does. Well, I mean, when it doesn't do 9 damage, yeah. I'm gonna loot this house here real quick. I don't think anybody came here.
Yeah, I'm coming too. I usually hit this and then come down this side. I mean, it's boring if people don't come here, as you see, but you get looted the fuck out.
Yep. For sure.
But times when a lot of people drop and you get looted, it's fun. I've hit so many chests and ammo boxes, and I can't find a fucking heavy bullets.
Oh, I found a hunting rifle, so I've got 13 right now. Do you want me to just drop you half?
No, that's all I have too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Shit though. You a builder?
Am I a builder? I'm practicing, working on it.
Yeah. You on maths? Are you good?
I'm good. I got like 500 wood right now. How many wins do you have in this game?
How many wins?
Yeah.
In which one, or like total?
Just in total.
Like green, if you want it.
I already got one.
I got probably like over 100.
Oh, okay.
And everything added up. What about you?
Something close to that. Nothing crazy.
There's a big shield if you want to hold it.
I already got 2 big ones.
There's minis too right here.
I already got 2 big shields, so I can't take any more.
Is that you on the crack rocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just farming right now.
Yeah.
Damn, 100 wins. Yeah, that's a lot. So, you're pretty good at this game.
Not bad. That dude. Yeah, I just don't really have anyone to play with, really.
Oh, you got 3,000 viewers. I mean, none of them want to play with you?
Like, that plays it. That's good.
Sorry, what? I missed what you said.
No, like, I have a friend that plays that's decent.
Okay.
Other than that.
So you're saying
I don't really.
All your viewers are trash?
Well, I don't play with them.
Oh, okay.
There's, there's so many.
Right.
Too funny.
I get you. Completely understand.
You're chill though.
So have you ever played like
your name looks familiar, dude. I don't know why.
Do you watch a lot of streamers at all on YouTube or Twitch or anything?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. I mean, I kind of know people.
Are you friends with any like big streamers? Like, do you know like?
Oh no, haven't even attempted to really.
Oh yeah, just kind of do your own thing.
Killed a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it for fun, really.
Right.
Entertain people. There's people over to our left. 40, 50, see them?
Yep, building up. Wow. Yeah, I got a jump pad if you want to get up there quick, or if you just want to. We can try. I don't know if they see us. We might be able to kind of get up there slow.
I was gonna say, which way should I go, right or should I go left? Which way
I'm gonna go. I'll go right. I
don't think they see us at all.
Yeah, there's another team fighting over here.
Okay. I'm going as fast as I can, homie. I'm on their building. Oh, this is you.
Yep.
Where they at?
They're fighting east.
I see him. Look at this bitch.
Yep, teammate just came up.
The team is. Hold on, let me find him. Go for a second.
Got one. Hey,
Got one?
good stuff.
You get the other one?
Yeah, I got the other guy.
Shit, buddy. There's a bolt over here for you?
Yeah, I'll grab that in a sec.
Jetpack, you fuck with it?
I'm not a big fan of the jetpack. Oh, guys behind us. Guy behind us.
Next to us. What's that? Why can't I get out?
Oh my god, he got me, bro. He's just spraying with the LMG.
Fuck.
Yeah, right out, literally right there. You got him, man. Hey, good stuff.
Are you alive?
Yeah, I'm good.
Fuck. I don't know why it took so long. Got a campfire?
There's a medkit out there too, and I got 2 half pots, so all set.
Dope. I'm gonna use it because I got 55.
Okay.
You said there's minis out there? Hopefully it's stacked.
I don't know if there are minis, to be honest.
Careful. Oh, this fuck, dude.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit in this corner right
What
here.
am I grabbing? I see it. I'm gonna grab him for us. Hey!
Actually, yeah, you know what? You know what I'll do? Oh, hold on. Before you pop the campfire, actually.
Oh, shit. Here, come here.
Yeah. No, but if you're gonna use a campfire, I'll just use bandages, and then we'll both use the campfire.
Just use this medi. Use this medi.
No, but we'll carry the medi afterwards. If we're gonna use a campfire.
What do you mean?
Unless...
No, I'm not gonna use it because I don't need it.
Oh, okay.
I'm full, cuz. I'm with you. How much mats you got?
I only got 300 wood and like 150 brick. I didn't finish looting all these guys out here.
There. There's 450 wood.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Thank you.
There's a dude on us somewhere. Oh, here.
I don't have eyes on him. Yeah, that's all you right now. I'm behind you.
You on me?
Yeah, I'm all set. I don't know where his teammate is though.
Do you have any shields? Or, yeah, shields.
I do not. No, I don't have any heals on me. Carry these bandages though. I heard more shots to the southeast.
Southeast?
Yep.
Get close?
No, it's
on the hill.
pretty far, yeah.
He's filming below you.
What direction?
Southeast. He's gonna be coming up that hill. I need some mats. Dude, I've been building like a fucking... Oh shit.
Oh, I see all these guys down here. Yep.
See him?
Yep. I got 2 jump pads if you want to get down there.
Behind me.
Oh shoot, I fell.
Fuck.
Where are they? Oh, they're back up there. Yep. Just going up.
I'm healing.
Okay. That's a yikes.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a slurp over here for you if you want that. That was probably the guy's teammate. Died instantly.
Did it drop?
Yeah.
It's over here. I need potions.
Yeah, there's a slurp over here for you.
Oh, yeah. Where at?
Right up here.
There's bouncy balls, whatever the fuck you call them.
Oh, impulse nades?
Yeah. There's 4 people left, I guess. Should set up the jump pad just in case we need it. Oh, you see it's right in front of us.
What direction are you looking? Oh, yeah, I see him.
7.
Once, 23. Oh, there's also a guy to our right, yep.
Right?
See this guy? Yeah, the guy building brick over near that little hut, and there's also a guy down here.
Oh, yeah.
Straight down to like 30.
Where at? 30? A grenade launcher. Get sniped. Yeah.
This guy doesn't snipe me.
Oh, I'm going for it.
Okay. Ah, shoot.
Fuck that I am. Can you get to me?
Yeah, I might be able to. Quick sec. I don't have a whole lot of ammo left.
Shoot me? You should get to me. Oh, 5 health. 3. Gimme. 1. Oh.
Let me know if they're pushing.
No. I have 1 health.
I got 15 bandages for you. Right
I
here.
got a med kit. Let me get sniped. How do they not see me? I think there's a guy pushing behind him that sniped him.
I dropped you a jump pad right there. I got 2 others.
At the back?
Pushing this guy.
Where is he?
Team is right east. Weak soup.
Hey, come on! Call it out, man!
Shoot, hold on.
Guy coming behind you.
Hold on. Oh my god, why won't it reload, bro?
Good win, bro. I fucking got gayed, dude.
Dude.
You wanna play another one?
I actually gotta get off here real quick, unfortunately. That was my last one.
Bro. Good game.
Yo, GG's, bro. Have a good one, man. Yo, what's your channel, by the way?
Oh, you wanna know who I am?
No, I don't. You can look me up, though, if you want.
No? You what?
You can look me up, though, if you want. YouTube.com/proHype.
Oh, you stream?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yo, just like you, man. Yeah, I'm live right now.
You laugh, you know who I am.
What?
I'm Seth
You're who?
Rogen's younger brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I'm Derek Jeter's son. Oh god, bro. GG's to that guy, man. Was not expecting that. Alright guys, yo, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Appreciate the support. When you guys drop, hopefully we can try to get to 1,000 likes in the stream, guys. And when you subscribe, you'll see your names appear right above the face cam. GG's to that guy, man. Awesome, we just got that guy's 30th win. GG's, man. Maybe he's watching the stream. Seth Rogen's son, or was it Seth Rogen's brother or son? I forget what he said. Damn, dude. 3,000 viewers, bro. That's crazy. I wish I had 3,000 viewers. Nutty. He said brother? Okay. Yo, what's up? Snatch Liquor?
You got the right idea with your name too.
Yo, why? What's my name say? Just thought it said ProHype.
Never mind.
Dude, you'll never believe what just happened to me last duo game. I ran into somebody who said he was Seth Rogen's younger brother. Isn't that crazy?
You believed him?
Oh, dude. Well, he said he wasn't lying. So, I had to believe him.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick if that actually happened.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I told him I was Derek Jeter's son, which isn't true. I don't even think Derek Jeter has a son.
Well, fuck it, I'm Walt Disney's grandkid.
How you doing tonight, bro?
Good, man. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Just trying to get some dubs.
Hell yeah.
Have you tried that new game mode? I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, Close Encounters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it a little earlier this morning before it was actually... I played it like in the 40 minutes that it was up this morning. Gotta win with it. It's pretty fun. It's awkward though. It's weird to hit your shots because you gotta... You're like bobbing up and down with a jetpack while also trying to be accurate with a shotgun. It's weird. But it's fun.
Do you like spawn with a jetpack or something?
No, it's just the only stuff you can get out of chests and drops and stuff is... So the only weapons you get are shotguns. And then you get jetpacks. It was weird though. Like when I was playing, I think the reason they took it offline was because it was dropping like ammo for like ARs and snipers too. So I think that was the glitch. But it's back in now.
Yo, you wanna bolt?
Sure. Yeah, if you got one.
Where you at? Go ahead, take that.
Perfect. Thank you. You got any wins so far tonight?
It's like my second game on today.
Oh, okay.
Got close my first game. Got 4.
Ooh.
Yo, there's guys here.
Yeah.
He's down.
Oh, you got him? Oh, damn. Nice shot.
Yeah, boy.
You can phase,
Stop
dude?
shooter.
He got knocked, right? Yeah. Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
there's a teammate.
Nice, good stuff.
Let's go. Shit.
Alright, dude. Yeah, I'm feeling this game for sure.
How many minis? They hit 3. I can give you one.
Oh yeah, I'll take one. I'll take that nade launcher too if you don't want it.
That's all you need. I don't have any rockets.
You're legit reading my mind. You and I are on the same wavelength right now.
You know what? I've been double pumping recently. I think I'm gonna just
Dude.
go back to the pump back.
Oh, I was hoping you were gonna say you're sticking with it because I've been trying to get better with the double pump.
Yeah, I can't find like I get a rhythm some games, but then
Yeah.
some games I just like choke.
Absolutely, I feel
It's
that.
annoying.
Yeah, the hardest part for me when I was first starting with it is just figuring out the timing between like when to switch to the
Yeah.
next one. So I'm.
Dude, I wish I played this game when the double pump was actually
Oh
like,
right,
fucking nuts.
100%.
Like mad. Yeah, there's a slurp here.
Okay, yeah, I'll come grab that. Right on you.
Yeah, right there. Mellow puppy over there. Yeah, when I play solos, I'll like fuck around with double pump.
Yeah. Are you a live streamer or YouTuber or anything? Your name looks familiar. Like not even trolling it. For some reason, look.
Nah,
You're not?
nah, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Gonna say that's a lot of pressure if you were.
Yeah. Dude, if I was a streamer, I'd just fuck around the whole time. I wouldn't take this shit serious.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. That's what most
I'm not
streamers
trying
do.
to be, I wouldn't want to be like one of those competitive like seasons out stuff. And you would actually have to like try all the
Yeah. Well, you want to be known for like who you are, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you're only known for being just good at the game, when the game runs out, I mean, what's your game plan after that if nobody likes who you are?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I'm looking for a joke for real quick. Oh, there's people there.
Probably. Are you good on mats right now?
Yeah, I'm decent. I'm good for now. And they're right here.
Yep. I don't have sights on him yet, so that's all you right now. Nice,
one.
nice. Yeah, I don't see anybody. I shot him. Oh,
He down.
sheesh. Yo, who hit you? Was that with them down there?
The guy with the LMG. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard a sniper shot hit you, like right at the last second. Grab these minis up here.
Yo, there's guys.
Okay.
Oh wait, was that you building?
Yeah, I'm up above you right now.
Okay. Yo, there's another blue R.
Yeah, I'll definitely take pumps for sure. Well, hold on, I'll just pop that right now. If you need minis, I got 6 for you.
I just need one. I'm carrying nade. So.
Yeah, and if you want to take the nade
Where's that
launcher,
mini?
I have them on me right now.
I just dropped one.
I just dropped half right there. I'll pick up what you don't need. Here we go. Here's the blue pump.
It's right here. I dropped one right there. Alright, bro. I got a full blue loadout, so I'm good.
Damn. What level are you in this game? I'm like a pretty good player.
I honestly don't know.
Oh,
Like
damn.
my overall level or just like right now?
Just like for this season.
Oh, like 40 something, 45.
Okay. You have a background in other FPS games, or?
I play Counter-Strike a lot.
Oh, okay.
That was about it on the computer.
So you got your aim's on point. That's what I'm hearing.
That's alright. There's guys in Loot Lake.
Yeah. I'm looking at them right now.
Oh, God.
Oh damn, yeah, they're lagging hard. You have a jump pad or anything to get to them?
I don't got one now.
Ooh, just missed that guy. Do you have any heavy ammo to drop me? I've literally only got 3 shots.
Yeah. There's a guy right in front of me.
Yeah, I see him.
Where the fuck's heavy ammo? Here, take it. Let's put some right here at the bottom of my ramp.
Yeah, got him. Perfect, thank you. Oh, shoot.
Yo, fuck grenade launches, man.
Yeah, for real, bro. Coming to you. I'm gonna set a guy. Stuff?
Got one?
Yep. Oh, right above.
Fuck, dude. It's all you, dude.
Got him.
I think another team's coming.
Okay. Woo! Dude, I ran out of ammo on my shotguns, bro. That sucks.
Do they have any shield?
I do not know.
Yep.
Where?
Another team.
What direction? Oh, yeah, I see him up there.
Top of
Yeah,
the
pick that. Got one. One on the one on the left.
Good push.
Yep, yeah, he's going to revive him right now. I have no mats whatsoever, actually. I literally have none. I'm just gonna shoot up there. You have mats to build up. That's all you. Yeah, shoot that. He's gonna be reviving him right now. This is legit all you. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff.
So here, let me give you some mats.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Do you have any extra shotgun ammo too? Yeah, I got 5 minis for you. Just dropped half right there. You got any shotgun ammo?
What'd you say you need?
Shotgun ammo, if you get it.
Yeah, I got you. Hold up.
Dude, there's an ant in my room right now. It's crawling on my monitor. It's freaking me out. Holy Jesus! You had a lot of shotgun ammo.
Yeah, I had a ton.
God damn.
Alright, bro, we got this shit. Yo, there's more minis right here.
Where right down here? Oh, yeah.
Let's stick with the nades. Oh, okay. Let's go to the right of loot lake.
Did we,
Go in the water.
did we loot all these guys?
I just took like ammo and shit. I didn't take it to go.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss any material. I don't think I did.
I think those guys are still in the middle of loot lake.
Yeah. I don't have a jump pad still or anything. Do you have any more AR ammo, actually? I got only 34 shots.
Yeah, dude, I got a ton. I got a ton for you.
Alright, perfect. Yeah, you can just drop it right in your path. I'll just follow you if you want.
Alright.
Yeah, dude, we got this 100%. I saw building.
I got a fireplace too, in case you want to pop that.
Nah, not right now. I'm all set. I got a decent amount of shield and 6 minis on me, so we can save that for when we really need it.
Oh, yeah, 15.
Okay.
They built some, like, fucking mega base.
Where are you looking? Oh, out there? Is there people actually in that?
Yeah. There's a guy in there.
I don't even know what part you're
Yo,
on. Oh, straight
there's
ahead.
a battle over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a battle over there.
Shoot, wish we had a jump pad.
Hit that guy in top building twice.
Nice.
3 times. 4. 5.
I'm gonna push up. I want to sit still. I don't want to get sniped.
Come on, come on.
You guys are gonna be weak too, so if we push up on them quick, we should be able to get them.
Yeah. I'm gonna start whipping Nate. Oh, bro, you got a jetpack. Oh, fuck.
John Wick on the left is hit. Ah, dude, I'm choking shots.
That one.
Nice, good stuff.
The other one's white. He's white. He's got no shield.
Yep.
Last guy.
Got him.
Good shit.
But there was a John Wick to our left, wasn't there? Yeah, there was. Yeah, he's still here. Got him.
Alright, there's a oh, you got one, right?
Yeah, I'm all set. There we go.
I'm good on loot, man.
Yeah, I need. I can use a little bit more building material if you got it. If you got a lot.
What do you need? Well, how much? Which one do you need?
I got
Wood?
389 wood, 232 brick. I don't like it unless you don't have like a surplus or anything. I'll be fine. I can just farm a little bit.
I got a surplus of wood. I dropped it. Split it.
Oh, perfect. Woo!
Let's get this shit. Still no launch pad.
Yeah, I know. Sucks.
Oh, there's a lot of building 105.
Yep. I see that.
There's people there. They're healing in the bottom left. That brick right under the porta fort. And that brick. The one's in the porta fort.
Okay. Yep.
Building out of there.
Jump off. Is he on the? Oh, he's all the way back there on that hill.
I hit him.
Nice.
I dropped another one.
I'm trying to snipe up there. It's gonna be a hard shot though. Both of us. Oh shoot, that would have been dirty, dude. Still up there. Alright, I'm hidden by the tree right now. Do you have a nade launcher?
Nah.
And my goal is I'm just gonna slowly be pushing up here. They both jumped out. They're both sort of on my side.
Get people up. I'm gonna push them on the left.
They're shooting me down. Yeah, one guy's still in the porta fort. Headshot him in the porta fort. Super weak. Oh shoot. Hold down below. One's right up behind you. Got one down. Last guy closest to you. Shoot, bro. I just got nailed in the back. You know where he is?
Oh, he's right on me. Somewhere over here. Oh, he's right here.
Stuff.
They're both dead. Yo, launch pad.
Nice. Yeah, I need a lot of heals right now. I'm healing up. There's building like literally straight south.
Oh, I see him, yeah.
Yo, I hear someone. I think I hear someone else here, bro. Yeah, bro. There's someone else. There's someone else here. I don't know where they are exactly, but I hear them walking around. I'm applying to make it right now.
I'm coming by you. Oh yeah. Building up.
Oh shoot, is he?
Or was that you?
That's me building up right now. Maybe I was just hearing you that whole time. Oh, I guess because I thought you were in front of me. My bad then.
Yeah, there's guys in that brick.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh yeah, there's a team pushing them with the fucking moon rock.
Yep.
Hit that guy going up the ramp twice.
You want jump pad?
Yeah.
All you. Right behind you.
Trying to shotgun us.
There's a guy below me. Yep.
That one.
Oh, dude, what is this guy doing, man?
I got another launch pad.
This guy just fell to his death. Ha! What was that guy doing, man? He was building up way
There's
too.
guys at the base we were just at.
Okay, yeah, I see him. I'm just grabbing all this material. Ah, way too high. Shoot. He's gonna shoot it down. Oh! That shot should have been there. Still one other team, too.
Shit.
Headshot the guy, yeah, in the very top. Yep, he's dead. GG's, dude. Good stuff, man.
Hell yeah.
Damn! 11 kills, bro? Sheesh! Yo, are you lying to me about your level?
God, dude.
GG's, dude.
You getting man? Oh.
That guy was sick. That guy was sick, dude. Yo, Zach with the $5 says, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Zach. I appreciate it, my man. You're an absolute legend. Do some more duo fills, guys. Damn. We've had 2 games now back to back where we're just getting like the nastiest players right now. I'm going full John Wick, baby. I don't care. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the stream, definitely make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe as well if you guys are new. When you sub, you'll see your names appear right above the face cam. That's back-to-back duo wins, man. Yeah. Yo, no way, dude. What are the chances of that?
Let's go back to back.
Yo, dude, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it.
Holy shit, that's crazy. I've never had that happen before.
It's happened to me once before. It wasn't with somebody who was good, though, so I was a little disappointed. Yo, let's get it, dude. Let's get it.
Alright, where you want to drop?
I don't know. You want to go salty?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always sucks when you queue up and you get someone bad.
Yeah, or somebody without a mic. That's usually how most of my,
Oh, yeah. No, honestly, I'd rather have somebody who's bad with the mic.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Where are you from, by the way? Just like generally region-wise.
Chicago.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm in Maine. Huh. That's weird.
You're where?
I'm from Maine.
Oh, okay.
You're going Blue House?
I'm gonna hit this. Yeah, blue hell.
All right. I'm on the roof.
Somebody's in the roof.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna immediately go in basement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get my pump.
I'm gonna go to the house across the street. I don't think anybody went there. There's a hunting rifle over here if you want that.
I got one.
Perfect.
I got a mini for you.
Nice, nice. Do you have a green hunting rifle or just a green or blue one?
It's green.
Okay, there's a blue one over here for you in the attic.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me come grab that.
I literally.
Yeah, hold on, let me take this kid out real quick.
Okay.
Fuck, he's moving.
Yeah.
He's running towards Dusty. Is it in the roof?
Yeah, it is. Shoot, missed him. Oh, shoot, guy right in front of me. On the ground. Got him.
I get it.
Yeah, all I had was an LMG. Yeah, this guy's pushing Grandma's house. I'm gonna finish this guy.
Oh! Oh, I thought you just fucking...
No, no, no.
Oh,
he was just sitting still down
He's
here.
on top of the roof of that blue house. He's dead.
Okay.
That was that guy's teammate.
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about, yeah. I've just used to call it Grandma's. You're talking about the house right here.
He's going up there right now. I'm going up there right now.
Okay. Thanks, man. I really wish I was. You know about the Fortnite Friday tournament that's going on right now? Like all those big.
The what?
The Fortnite Friday tournament that's going on. Like all the big streamers that are in it.
No. I heard about that Keemstar one.
Yeah, that's it. The one that he's hosting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the Fortnite Saturday one. I guess that one's for like quote unquote smaller streamers. So I'm hoping I can get into that one. I feel like that'd be sick.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope. Isn't the prize like 10K or something like that?
The prize for the big boy one, the Friday one that's going on right now is or that went on today is for 20 grand. The Fortnite Saturday one is for 5 grand. But I mean, money's money. So.
Oh yeah. Ooh, mini. Someone forgot to pick up some minis.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me, dude. I make that mistake all the time. Why do I still have like no material? Just farmed like 3 mats, 3 pallets.
Yeah, I'm just low on that right now. I like to land at those places that have just a bunch of people.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to work for those mats or anything.
Exactly. Oh shoot. Got one of them. Sitting still. The guy's shooting at you. You go back and try to get his teammate, I think. I'll be able to push up to him. Yeah, he's got to be reviving him right now, 100%. Stuff. Oh shoot. The other guy. Wait, he get revived? What the hell? Hello? Your mic's muted, by the way. I don't know if you're talking or not.
Shit, my bad.
No, it's all good. There's minis, and I got a med kit for you.
There's another mech over here.
Okay, perfect. I'll pop those minis then. Grab them at least. There's wood out there for you too. I'm not sure if you already have max, but...
Oh, there's wood?
Yeah, there was wood. Yeah, right down there.
Alright.
These guys were literally just sitting still up here.
Yeah, he sniped my ass.
Yo, Jesus, Dalton, thank you so much for another $100 dono, man. You're an absolute legend.
The other guy was down. I just finished him.
Dalton, bro. Matt, that you donate, man, it's just insane, brother. Let's get some Dalton hype in the chat, guys. Thank you so much, bro, for that support. Holy crap. Dalton dropped 200, I believe, earlier, dude. Jesus, man. No message for that one. Let's get some Dalton hype in the chat, guys. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe if you are new as well. Would really appreciate it. Guy behind me?
Behind us?
Literally where we came from.
I see him in between the rock.
I don't see him at all right now.
He's right behind that stone right in front of you.
Oh, yeah, teammate. Shoot, I'm not trying to peek that. Oh, damn.
He's down.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for him. Yeah, this guy's good. Oh, shoot, what the heck? Literally right down there. Yeah, hit him 17,000 times. Nice.
Ooh, big pot.
Yeah, that's all you. You got that guy. Oh, this guy's got a chug jug, actually. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pop that. Then I'll just carry the minis.
Oh, he had two big shields.
Holy Jesus, bro.
I don't know how that kid got knocked. I knocked him because I shot out his base and...
Oh, then he just fell? Yeah. Well, he must have just run out of hop rock then. Yeah.
I thought he was on I thought he had a jetpack.
No, he was, yeah, he was on those hop rocks.
Okay.
I still got a jump pad, by the way. Here, I'm gonna drop you.
Do you have any extra wood? I only have 59.
Yeah, well, I got 850. I just dropped you half of mine. Guy right over here, directly north. Just a solo. Just missed him. I'm gonna put up a jump pad, actually. Just go to him.
I see him,
Blew right down here at this hut. Nine damage, bro.
Teammates right here.
The porta fort. GG's, dude. Stuff. Bro, I literally did a point blank shot for 9 damage on that kid. Oh, God.
There's wood over here.
Definitely use some. Alright, perfect. Yeah, you're good on mats?
I got six wood, bro.
You gotta fix. You gotta fix that real quick.
Yeah, let's get on. There we go. I hate running through this place.
Yeah. Really sucks. So many places to hide.
Yeah, there's guys 165 running across.
Yep, I see them. They're looking right at you. Yeah. Ooh, damn.
They're both sniping.
One of them's got a skeleton skin. Yep. Got OGs of OGs right here.
Fucking drilled me.
I got minis for you. Alright, I think you're all set. Yeah. Shoot, yeah, both these guys are good. We still have that jump pad, by the way, so if we want to use that to get a Halley here, we can. The guy on the left, the skeleton, he's got no shield. He's pushing back up to his teammate. They're both up there on the right-hand side. Yeah, hit the technique skin. Technique skin is weak. No shield. Oh, there's a team coming up from behind him, too. Yeah, these guys are getting pinched. Got the other guy? Yeah, it's just the team behind now.
Alright, that team.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pushing up. Oh, dude, why does building always do that, man?
I'm popping a mini real quick.
Got him. Got him. He's dead. Damn, dude. Oh, guys above, coming down to you. Yeah, both of them up on the mountain. They're both dropping down towards you.
Alright, hold up.
Which one
I still
up?
got this launch pad.
Yeah. Guy with the RPG down below. He's super weak. I think he's got a sniper, though. Gotta be careful. Yeah, they're both running back into whaling. Shoot.
I just popped that launch pad and I'm out. Went to the zone.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I just got nailed. Holy crap. I'm gonna play it really slow going down here into whaling. There's guys up on the hill that just destroyed
They're over here
me.
on me.
Yeah. I need to play a little slow right now. Nice. Yep. Got his teammate.
Oh no, I got sniped from another team.
Yep. Shoot. Hold on. I gotta get.
Oh no, it's his teammate.
Hold on. I gotta heal up. Shoot, dude.
Oh, this kid got me. Fuck.
Bro, oh my god, this sucks, man. I'm dead. Yep. Storm's gonna get me. Shoot, bro. Gee.
Look where this kid's at. Correct.
Oh my god. How many kills do you have?
I had 5.
At 11. That would have been an insane game. Oh my god.
Oh, you had 11.
Yeah. GG's, dude. Yeah, we both did really well these last 2 games. Yeah, the chat's freaking out telling me to add you, so I'm gonna add you as a friend here real quick.
Alright.
If you don't mind. Damn, that guy's legit, bro. That guy was good. That guy was hella good, man. Holy god. Some HSR Roblox. It's a new game mode? I know, man. I'm not really interested in playing it right now, though. But holy crap. Dalton, dude. Dalton, you're an absolute legend. Dalton came in, so after dropping the just mysterious 100, he drops another 100 and says, he, legend status. Legend status, dude. Then drops another $100 on top of that and says, oh, you thought I was playing, huh? When I said donation board was mine. That's crazy, dude. Thank you so much, man. I think you've donated... Have you donated 500 today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You donated 500 bucks today, man. You're insane, dude. You're literally insane. Who sent me an invite? Was it that guy? Yeah, he did. Wait, yo, what the f... I just saw myself there for a second. Did you see that too?
No, it's two separate ProHype. There's
wait.
another kid with the
There's
same
another
name
kid
that added me.
got the same name. What the hell?
That's wild.
That was wild. Going. Yeah, I already told you I'm live right now. Same as my username. Check it out.
Our stream.
Yeah, I'm live right now on YouTube.
You get a decent amount of donos, or?
Yeah, dude, I was literally freaking out that last game. During that last game, this kid donated 3 separate $100 donations.
100?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. What the heck? Yeah, this kid's a...
Did you just be handed $100?
Yeah.
Or like,
Legit
that's
just
crazy.
sitting... Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm pissed about that last game. We should have had that. That's bad storm luck. But
Oh no, we're winning, dude.
oh, 100. Where do you want to land? You make the call.
Alright, let's go. Wanna go greasy?
Yeah, let's do it.
There's only been like a couple times where I've actually encountered like good people. When I like, because usually I'll just play like solos or I'll play with my friends.
Right.
But anytime I like just do like randoms, not very often I find somebody.
Yeah. Oh, good.
It's nice, dude, when you have like people like who build and like
Oh,
running,
yeah.
like the same style as you.
Right. You know what they're doing? Absolutely. That's super nice. I'm doghouse right now. You have any minis by chance?
I just found a big pot.
Okay. Yeah, I just found a slurp. I'll probably end up just having to pop it anyways.
I don't think anybody came here. I could be wrong.
I think we're all set.
The health card.
Ooh, yeah, I just got a chug jug. I'm gonna pop that. Do you want the, you want jetpack? There's a jetpack over here.
I'll just. I got. I'm about to have a full loadout.
Okay. You know who Tfue is? Face Tfue? Oh, there's another guy here. One in gas station. There's one in the. Got one over here. Yep. Nice. Get the other guy. You got that other guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, I wanted to land up to the coupon. What were you saying? I know who Tifu is. That guy's nuts.
Tifu, yeah, he's insane. Somebody in my chat, I think somebody said Tifu really do be the best because I know he's in that that tourney right now. I don't know if he made it or not. He was playing with Cloaksy, I know.
I mean, Ninja's good, but he's just like. You just got the popularity. That's
right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so many people in my chat always ask me, they're like, you know, hey, who do you think is better, Ninja or Myth? And it's like, there's so many underground people who nobody knows about who are so disgusting at this game. Like, J-O-Mock is probably one of the nuttiest players I've ever seen in my life. Tfu's insane. Cloaksy's nutty.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know who Nick A30 is. I mean, he's not so much underground anymore, but he's a YouTube streamer who's, like, literally blown up. Oh, Tfu won. Oh, he won the tourney. Oh, him and Cloak won.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Yo, do you want to carry minis? I gotta.
Yeah, 100%. I'll take minis.
I got a chug. I don't know if I can pop it.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Actually, you know, fuck it. I'm just gonna pop it.
And then take
Am I gonna get another chance to pop 15 seconds?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, it wasn't even close? Who were they going up against in the finals? Oh, they went up against Ninja and King Richard. Oh, okay.
Who's Ninja's partner?
Yeah, King Richard. Do you know who he is? He's another Twitch streamer. Pretty popular.
No.
He's insane at the game, too.
I mean, if I was playing this game like fucking 12 hours out of the day, I'm pretty fucking good, too.
Yeah, exactly. When it's literally your job. That's so sick, though.
That is.
He definitely deserves it. For sure. Guys here. In the house that I'm in. On top of.
Oh, I see.
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, there's guys in
He's
there.
down, he's down.
Headshot at him. He's super weak, yep. Teammate behind him. Nice. Good stuff.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm gonna pop these 2 slurps, actually. I still have 200.
Yeah, go for it.
That guy have an extra blue pump by chance?
He did not have any pump. He had a pack, green pack. Alright, just head in. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're close.
Did you ever play H1Z1?
I had the game downloaded, but I played the survival mode. I never played the
Oh,
Battle
okay.
Royale.
Yeah. I was like obsessed with the Battle Royale mode. Probably like around a year ago. That's like all I was grinding. The game was so much fun. Yeah. I mean,
I started playing this game like around Christmas time.
yeah.
On the I was playing on the Xbox, and then my friend told me to play.
Oh, PC is just light years better, isn't it?
Oh hell yeah! It's like the building. Dude.
Oh, everything's just so much smoother too. Like I tried because PS4's got native keyboard and mouse support, so I tried plugging in my keyboard and mouse to it, and like just having it capped at 60 FPS. Oh, it literally kills me. I can't take it.
Yeah.
Do you have a 144 or 240 hertz monitor or no?
144.
Yeah, same. Makes so much of a difference. It's crazy.
I don't know. I just have I have a laptop, like an MSI.
Oh, okay.
Hook up to a monitor, keyboard, and mouse.
Oh, damn. Well, that's actually sick.
too. Oh, yo, there's a balloon over here. I'll go for it.
Okay. I'll come to you right now.
Oh yeah, there's guys over here too.
Okay. I'm a little far out from you, so that's up to you. One guy once, 27. Stuff. Stuff, bro.
Fuck you, bitch.
Stuff.
Alright, good. I didn't take like any damage from that.
Can you carry that medkit or no? If not, I'll carry it. That's cool. Take that.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shoot. Yo, they're up on the mount. Oh, damn. I did not realize they were up there. I'm coming up with you. Get right down below. Got one down. Oh, no, bro. Oh, my God. I should be dead right now. I 100% should be dead. Wait, where is he?
I have no idea.
He's down below. Right in here. Ah, shoot. He's going to get me. Nope. I'm good. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to med up here real quick. And then we got to face those guys that are... Yep. Woo!
Where's the other team?
Like literally over near Sniper's Nest, I think.
On top of that giant hill.
Yeah.
Yo, blue pump over here.
Have that.
I'm gonna grab this launch pad real quick.
Oh, that's you up here. Okay. Blue pump over near you right now. Where's the blue pump? You said?
Oh, it's right here, right here, right here.
Oh, perfect.
I don't see, where the fuck is this other team?
I think they're up at that. I think they're up at that building. They're just not peeking us right now. I think they are anyway.
I got jump pad. You want me to put it down?
How far away? I think we should be alright. Yeah, because those kids probably rotated too. That's probably where they're going.
Oh, that kid's so weak. I hit him with a
Only one kid over there?
sniper and yeah.
Yeah, let's just hop rock over to him. He's not peeking at all.
No, he's definitely healing. He's got no health.
Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Got one. I'm screwing up. Behind you. Oh, you literally one-pumped me, bro. Nice shot. Good stuff. Yeah, we're in the safe zone, too.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? Whew. You got med?
I got 7 minis. I don't have any help.
I don't have any meds. I just have minis, bro.
Hopefully these guys had something. Oh, shoot.
Dude, I'm getting drilled.
I'm actually all out of building material. Are they all the way up? I literally have no building material.
I got one of them.
Bro, he's actually gonna trap me? Is this man serious? I actually just got no way, bro. He boogie bombed me.
Is he in there?
Yeah, shoot out that front wall. Now he's gonna finish me. He's in here with me. Dude, damn, good stuff, bro. He actually boogie balled me and shot me in here. Yo, I got 10 HP. 10, yeah. Yeah, you got me. Dude, what the frick?
Gotcha, my dude.
Clutch. I don't know why that guy was peeking out. He was literally just sitting there waiting for me to get killed by the trap, and it never came. I don't know why. Any bandages out here? Or a med or anything?
No, there's got 3 med kits here. Take one.
Oh, you got 3? Oh, nice. You
wanna give me some of those minis?
Yeah, absolutely. I just dropped all of them right there.
Do you have any?
No, I don't. I can take the med kit though if you want. This extra one.
Alright.
Yeah, they're building up on the Dusty to the right hand side.
Oh, they're in Dusty.
No, he's right down here, literally right below me.
Where they at?
There's a team pushing up from the north. There's a guy literally right down below. He's building up to the south.
Launch it out.
Hit him once. He's got shield. Love damage drop off. Hit him twice. And then there's team literally right on the ground here northeast. They're literally just sitting ducks. Oh, got one. Damn. Teammate's going to him right now.
He's going for the res.
Yep. Oh, shoot, he lasered me. God damn it. Yeah, just go for this guy. Just go for him.
Look.
Good stuff, bro. That's the last guy. I don't see any other teams pushing up or anything.
Oh. Right. Alright, here we go.
You guys got up high. Jesus. You still got those minis. I still got that extra med, so. Stuff, bro.
I got 10 minis, I'm good.
Yeah, if you have any extras though, I'll definitely take one. Or 2.
Yeah, there's some out here.
Okay, perfect.
Gold star.
Yeah, let me pop this med real quick.
God damn, that kid just kept going up, huh?
Yeah, for real.
How far we went.
Dude, I headshotted that one other kid that was reviving his teammate, and then it got lasered by that guy.
Oh, the other team.
Oh, whoa, what?
There's a team direct. Okay, I see 2 teams.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about all 345, and then there's one at the little hut here, too.
Yeah. Did you need a mini?
Yeah, if you got an extra one, I'll definitely take it. I'll bait out here a little. Oh, okay. Got me halved. Yeah, I was gonna say I can just carry some. Yeah, there's a guy literally right hand side of this hut right here. If he peeks again, should be able to get him. Yep, there he is.
Launch padding, launch padding.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to the guy. I think they just went up to scout actually.
Oh no, he's just scouting.
Yep. The guy at the hut twice. He's building. Yep. That guy over at the hut is peeking hard, dude.
Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. Yep. Let's push up. They're gonna jump head in, 100%. Yep, his teammate's right here. Got him. Watch out, there's a trap up there.
Good shit.
Okay, hold on, he's peeking me right now. I took my shot.
I hit him. I hit the one on the right.
Nice.
Alright, it's us versus them. It's us versus them. Yeah, we could launch pad over there.
If you have a launch pad. I'm gonna kind of bait out right here a little bit. If you're still up there. Might be able to get an angle on him. Oh, okay, nice. You're going over. Yep. Yeah, that's all you. Shoot. Hold on. I bet I fell down.
Fuck. I'm out.
Okay. Oh, they're coming over to me? Shoot. Oh, he actually nailed that. Yeah, this guy's super weak.
Down. Alright, finish him. Last guy.
Aw, dude, he is so weak. He's got absolutely no shield left. Good stuff, bro.
Go.
Damn. Holy
It's too easy,
crap.
man.
No, it's just too easy, brother. Too easy. Damn, dude. GG's.
Let's go.
Out. This guy's got a stream, man. Let me tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the stream, definitely make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe if you guys are new. I live stream Fortnite twice a day, every single day. When you subscribe, you'll see your names appear right above the face cam. Let's get some GGs in the chat, dudes. That was dope. Holy crap, this guy's a god. God damn, man. You down for one more? Oh, shoot. Does he have to get off? Damn. All right. He's got to get off. Yo, GG's, bro. Yo, Snatch. Yeah, I think he got off. Oh, no, I wasn't even friends with him, I don't think. Was I? I had to have been. I think I had to have been. All right, guys. Yeah, let's go and do some more. Let's go and do some more random duos. That guy was insanely good, man. Glad we were able to get in some games with him. So, all right, let's see what else we can find. That guy was a god, man. What's up, Z-Fast Builder? Oh, hey, what's up, Nerf? What's up, yeah? Close Encounters is back? Yeah, I saw that. No, Dennis. Dude, it is hot in this room right now, man. It's crazy, bro. Yo, Mildest Potato, what's up?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
How's your night going so far?
Could be better.
Yo, Zach, thank you so much for the 10, man. GG, that guy was lit. He was, bro. Let's get some Zach hype in the chat. Thank you for your 10, brother.
What do you want to drop?
You feeling salty?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. How's your night going?
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Can't complain. You got any wins tonight? Did I already ask you that? I don't think I did.
No. No wins for me. I did finish second though. I'm going to this house.
Alright, yeah, I'm
I
gonna...
think that's where you're landing.
No, it's alright. I'm going for the brick one.
Alright. What about you? Did you get W's today?
Yeah, I just got done playing with a random who I've never met before twice in a row. Who actually, yeah, we won 2 games, or actually 3 games. It was insane.
3 in a row.
No, it wasn't 3 in a row. There was one in between that we lost, but we played a total of like 4 games. Yeah, he was insane.
I got 1 cheer. I got minis on me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll make my way over to you. There's shots over by like Grandma's house, to northeast. I think there's shots at the end of the street too. Ooh, shoot.
I'm gonna drop the minis at the door.
Okay. Oh shoot.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, it's on the roof.
Yeah. I hit him for 30.
I don't have a shotgun or anything.
Moving around the house.
Yep. Teammates pushing up.
Oh, god damn.
Dude, hold on.
Oh, nice dude. Yeah, I'm safe.
Okay.
I think he's on the.
Literally right down beneath me. Yeah, I got a shotgun. Damn. Yeah, I didn't have a shotgun, unfortunately. GG's, bro. My bad. Yo, thanks, bro. You too. Have a good one. Dang, man. We should have been able to get that. That stinks. GG to that guy, though. But I just got nailed from that front door. That was unfortunate. All right. All right, yeah, guys, real quick, if you guys didn't know, I want to go ahead and plug this. This will be, I believe, the second to last time I'll be doing this right now. But if you guys didn't know, this stream is actually sponsored by Hotel Artemis. It's a movie that's actually coming out on June 8th, but pre-order for tickets actually starts May 28th. It's an action thriller movie. If you guys want to learn more, I'm actually going to show you the trailer right now. If you want to see the full cast, all the information about the movie, I've linked the trailer in the description down below. I'm a huge fan of action thriller movies, so I figured I'd go ahead and share this with you guys. I thought this would be a cool thing to have the stream sponsored by. So let me go ahead and show you guys that clip right now. I'm actually going to show you guys the trailer. It'll come up right here on screen. Should be... Second. I think it's going to come up on screen in about like 24 seconds or something like that. Yeah, I believe... Let me go ahead and pull up some more information so I know exactly... Like, I can give you guys the correct information here. But if you guys didn't know, it's actually written and directed by Drew Pearce. And if you guys don't know who that is, if you're not familiar with like much of the movie scene at all, he's the same guy who wrote Iron Man 3. He also did Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and Sherlock Holmes. So this guy definitely knows what he's doing. And the trailer looks sick. It should pop up here any second. I think it's going to pop up like just a second. Unfortunately, it did not. I don't know why the trailer did not pop up on screen. That is strange. Do not know why, but like I said, if you guys do want to check out the trailer, I do have it linked in the description down below. For whatever reason, it's not showing up on screen, but definitely make sure you guys go ahead and check it out because the movie does look insanely cool. These guys were actually kind enough to send me a screening of the movie before it actually was in theaters. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it because the link expired, but the movie, just from watching the trailer, you guys will be able to see how insane it is. So make sure you guys pre-order your tickets. That's going to be May 28th, and again, it's going to actually come into theaters on June 8th. Make sure you guys check that out. If you're watching on Twitch, I don't have a link for it over there for you guys. But if you head over to my YouTube stream, there is a link in the description down below. Hopping into random duos. Let's do it. What's up, Brandon? Welcome to the stream, my man. Woo! Do you feel squads? I'm not really feeling full squads right now, man. I'm probably only going to play like a couple more games and then I'm more than likely hop off.
Like, do you want a rematch?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Sorry.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, man?
Artemis. Nothing much. Yeah, I only have like, I don't even think I have a win yet. So, peace.
Dude,
Like,
I've been,
can you help me out?
absolutely, dude, absolutely.
Dude, you're so chill, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. You're pretty chill too. Where you want to land?
Thanks. I kind of like this place down here.
Oh, land in there?
It's a house.
Yeah, alright, we can go there.
Unless you want to go somewhere more populated. I mean,
We're a little late for Salty. Do you want to go Pleasant?
yeah, we can go there.
Let's do it.
Fine. Sorry if you hear somebody in the background. It's just I'm with my friends.
Oh, no, it's okay.
He wants to raise your muffle.
That was it.
Wow.
Sorry.
He wants to suck at your
Oh, what? Dude, shut up. Yo, what time is it? Here,
I'm lucky
where's
I only
that
got
lady?
half of that. I'm going, like, Doghouse right now, if you know where that is. I think there's two... Yeah, there's two players coming with me, though, unfortunately.
Alright, I'm gonna just land at this place.
Yeah, these two guys are on me, bro. I don't have a weapon either. Yeah, bro, I'm bouncing out. I'm going Doghouse.
Fuck, alright.
Or I'm going gas station, I mean, gas station.
station?
There's literally nothing in here either. Sheesh, dude.
Okay.
Yep.
This is ass. I'm gonna get fucking shotgun this way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hope that nobody notices me. I'm gonna go for the chest in the middle of the map. Or in the middle of the...
Alright, Brian.
Yeah, this guy's taking shots at me, bro.
What is that, a hunting rifle?
Yeah, I don't know what he has. It's something.
Alright, you're gonna have to protect me. Oh, fuck. Brandon, shut the fuck up.
Got him?
Oh, nice. Can I have his... Okay, I took his revolver.
Yeah.
Aw,
He's right here. Little, yeah, guy literally right on the other side of this fence. I think.
cool, can I try to kill him?
Or no, oh, never mind. I could have sworn I saw something. That was my bad.
Right in the future, I suppose.
He's gonna get me down. Ah, shoot. Yeah, he just hit fired me with a LMG.
You wanna squat? You wanna like
Yeah, he's gonna finish me.
You wanna like Here, don't leave. You want me to add you or something? Fuck.
Trash, bro.
I gotta get off here, unfortunately.
Yes.
But
Okay.
yeah, nice play with you though, man. Have a good one, bro.
You too.
I need to get better phrases chambered in my head because, like, I like playing random duos, but I can't send a friend request to everybody who I play random duos with. So I gotta, like, figure out how I'm gonna word everything. Bro, I am literally exhausted right now. I don't understand, if you guys understand, how tired I am right now. Like, legit, it was so hot today, bro. I don't know what temperature we reached. Just say you can't. It's not that hard to say no. Yo, what's up, man? Now, Bear, like, I'm not trying to come across as a jerk, you know? But at the same time, I don't always tell every single person that I play with that I'm a live streamer. So if I, like, don't add people, it's like, oh, no, man, I don't want to add you. Sorry. If I just say I can't, it's like, I'm not trying to come across as mean, but, like, you know. I don't know. That's all I'm trying to say. Yo, what's up, man? You got a mic? Say they can add you, but you might. Yeah, you go ahead and add me, man, but I might not accept your friend request. What kind of a play is that? Hey, man, yeah, go ahead and send me a friend request, bro, but I probably won't add you. You loser. Yo, what's up, man? You got a mic? Yo, what's up, bro? You got a mic? E. Frazier? being too nice to the internet, bro. I'm not trying to be.
Yo,
mean.
sorry about that, man.
Oh, it's all good. What's up, man?
Oh, this is it, man. I just you might have to bear with me. I just switched from PC or from PS4 to PC.
Oh,
today,
damn.
So, yeah.
Well, yo, let me give you a warm welcome to the PC community. Hope you like it. You want to go? Want to go fatal?
Yeah, I'm down.
Do it.
It's not my first time playing. Like I've played on PC before, but first time actually owning one, and it's 10 times fucking better than PS4.
Right,
man.
dude. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, I agree. I
was always one of those guys that used to defend it too, but no, there's no fucking arguing.
I owned a PS4 and like they've got native keyboard and mouse support. I tried plugging in keyboard and mouse to the PS4 to try to play Fortnite. It's just if you don't have 144 hertz, it's just not the same. It's not as smooth.
Yeah. No, definitely.
It's
not.
a different game.
Screen tearing. And,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm at the house, by the way.
All right, cool. Try to make our way over here. Chest.
Yeah, guy's literally in the attic.
All right.
Man, I got some decent loot right about now.
Saving. Nice.
Stuff, dude. You don't seem like a bad player so far.
I've been playing pretty flat out since I got it, so I haven't stopped. My friends are really fucking good, so like I got no choice unless I want to get yelled at.
They're really good on PC.
A couple of my friends are, yeah. Like he literally averages about 12 kills a game. He doesn't get off Fortnite.
Oh, shit. Is he like a streamer or something? Does he live stream?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
he live streams, but nobody watches it.
What's his?
No, he actually. I will give it to him. I'll give him credit. He actually is good enough, but like
Yeah. That's cool though. What's it? Does he stream on Twitch or YouTube or what?
Twitch.
Oh, okay. What's his name?
Christopher. CRINSTOPHER.
Okay.
TTV.
Yeah, maybe I'll check him out. That's sick.
Where are you from, man? If you don't mind me asking.
No, not at all. I'm from Maine, actually. I'm assuming you're in the
Holy
U.S.
shit,
too.
no way.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Canada, free.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Shit. Let me do this. I noticed that it always says cross-platform now. Why does it say that?
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I did notice that. I don't think that has actually anything to do with the actual matchmaking though. I think that's just a visual glitch or whatever.
Yeah. So I'd say it's kind of weird, like to be stuck on cross-platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
No, not at all. I'd love to be facing a bunch of controller users all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry if my clicks are loud too, man. Do you know anything about that? Like, is there anything you can install, like a driver or something to silence the keyboard clicks?
I don't think so, unfortunately. I personally use a membrane keyboard. I don't use like a mechanical one, so it's not very loud. Yeah. I used to use a mechanical one, but I've been using a membrane one for so long. I find myself like fat figuring a lot of the time on mechanical keyboards because the keys are up a little higher, so I'm not like gliding over each key as fluidly. But,
yeah, fair enough. How far do we gotta run? I don't know if that.
oh shoot! Yeah, I got a mini by the way. Forgot to mention that to you. Ooh, perfect. And half shield in here for you too. It's all you.
Sweet, thank you, sir.
And it's cool though that your friend's a live streamer. The only reason I ask is because I'm live streaming right now too on Twitch and YouTube.
Oh shit, no way.
Yeah.
Is that your name?
Yeah,
ProHype?
just ProHype, yeah.
Cool, man. When we get in the storm, I'll give you a follow.
Hey, sweet, thank you, man.
I was just watching Ninja streaming not too long ago. Like, fucking like 300,000.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
What do I do to be able to do that? Just get paid millions of dollars.
For real. Yeah, no, he's a god for sure. So you're watching the Fortnite tournament?
Yeah, he's paying for 20K or something.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know who, do you know many YouTube streamers at all? You know, like Avery?
Not really, to be honest.
Noah J.
I've heard of Noah J, yeah. I follow Nick Merckx too. He's
Nick
on
Merckx.
PS4.
Yep.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
he streams on Twitch. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Nick, do you know who Nick A30 is?
No.
He's an absolute god, yeah.
Nick A30?
Nick
I'll
A30,
keep
yeah.
that in
He
mind.
streams on PC. Yeah.
Cool.
He's probably the biggest Fortnite streamer on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit. I've only just started getting into like watching the streams and shit on my spare time, so.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun though.
I've wasted too much time playing this fucking game.
I feel you on that, for sure. Oh, there's a jetpack up here if you're into that. It's right in the attic.
Yeah, I might as well. I don't really need a revolver.
If you find an extra pump, let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm personally a fan of. Ooh. Are you carrying minis by chance?
I got a big here.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Can take some if you're trying
yeah,
to stack
can
it,
you
though.
carry the other big? Cause I just found another one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stack 2.
Another jetpack too. I half want that purple bolt. Holy shit, there's not many bricks around here.
Oh shoot, how much does it cost? Is it 400?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Tell your friend to keep grinding for sure. There's a lot of money to be made if you're good at this game. $100 million.
Yeah, man. Yeah, holy shit, imagine.
Oh man.
Yeah, he already only started streaming like 2 weeks ago though, so you never know.
Okay, yeah. That's true. I mean, hey. Never know. Yeah, you hidden up, you know, you can turn into like a Geomok or a Cloaksy, somebody who's just like completely underground, gets noticed by the big boys, and then before you know it, you're
Still
taking
makes
off.
sense to page, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Another heavy. Do you have any rockets by chance?
Nope, I don't though, man.
It's all good. Just gonna try to head into the safe zone here real quick.
Yes, sir. I'm right behind you.
Oh, here we go. Here's another pump. There's a purple heavy right there if you're into that. I'm gonna try to go for that supply drop. It's landing all the way out here to 75.
Alright, cool. Shit, I gotta go to bed soon. It's fucking 2:30 in the morning where I am.
Oh, for real? 2:30 in the
Yeah.
morning? Oh, damn. Yeah, that's right. You said you're from Canada.
Yeah, didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's almost 1 where I am.
AM?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Work's not that far behind. Or ahead of you.
How's it feel to be from the future? Has anything interesting happened? Last hour and a half.
Nah, man. Not much exciting happens up this way.
I dropped the RPG up there if you're into that. I'm gonna take the
Oh, sweet.
Bolt Sniper instead. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, good call. This isn't looted. Purple semi there. I got some heavy ammo for it.
Dude, where are these teams, man? We haven't found anybody.
Yeah.
Where was the supply drop, too? I just realized that. Came over here to find that, and I don't even know where it was.
Try. There's one shot.
Yo, Dalton, for real, bro, that's insane. If that's $2 grand in total, I mean, obviously I can double check after the stream, bro, because I'll have to update the donation leaderboard. But that's insane, dude. If you've actually donated $2 grand,
Yo, you said you had a bolt,
thank you so
right?
much. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well.
Oh, perfect.
Oh shit.
That's not that. You want to go for it?
40. Just 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, I see him. Oh, they're literally just hard peeking. Got one. Guy on the right.
Nice.
Yeah, let's just push out. He's definitely gonna be resing him.
Blue pump. I'll take that.
Oh, he's 100% resing him. No. Super weak. Has teammate down.
Oh shit, he's still in there. Holy fuck.
Another team. Yeah, another team coming up from the east.
Oh yeah, there's pretty fast. Oh, headshot.
Shoot. Yeah, hold on. I gotta reload.
Don't worry about me. I'm actually tucked away. I'm pretty safe.
Okay, hold on. I'm actually gonna try to come to you.
Watch out. I think he's like right under you, bro. Yeah, he is too. He went out. He's out now.
Ah, shoot. I just got nailed.
Yeah, I got a blue pump.
Ah, shoot, dude. I got
Shit, man.
nailed that guy, and then his
Fun
nade's
playing with you,
gone.
man. I'll give you a follow on Twitch.
Yo, thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube too. That's where the majority of the followers are. But yeah, name's the same all around, ProHype. So appreciate it, man.
Cool, man. Good luck with it.
Thanks, bro. Have a good one.
You too.
Ah, dude. That stinks. Running out of building material there. Alright, guys. I think that's actually where I'm going to go ahead and call the stream. I'm like insanely exhausted, and I want to make sure I can stay on schedule to actually make sure I can bring you guys morning streams. So if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys do go ahead and drop a like. And once again, because we are going to go ahead and wrap up this stream, if you guys didn't know, this stream has been sponsored by Hotel Artemis. If you guys didn't know, it's an action thriller movie that's actually coming out on June 8th. That's when it enters into theaters, but you can start pre-ordering tickets May 28th. So literally just in 2 days from now, it's an action thriller movie. Like I said, if you want to learn more and you want to see the full reveal trailer, the link is in the description down below. For whatever reason, I've been trying to have the graphics and stuff actually show up on screen, and they haven't for whatever reason. So if you guys definitely want to go check out the trailer, because from what I've seen, the movie looks insane. To give you guys a little bit of an idea of who the cast is, we got Jodie Foster, she plays the nurse, Dave Bautista, Sterling K. Brown, dangerous criminals inside, crazy riots outside. If you don't know, it's based in a underground emergency hospital for the most elite criminals. Jodie Foster plays the nurse, and sort of, you know, you can kind of guess what's going to happen here. They're trying to keep the best of the elite criminals alive, so it's sort of an underground, high-tech, a lot of action, a lot of fighting. So definitely something I think you guys would be interested in. The guy who wrote and directed it also directed Iron Man 3. He did Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. And he also did Sherlock Holmes. So this guy definitely knows what he's doing. The movie looks insane. Like I said, if you want to check out the trailer, links in the description. And make sure you pre-order and get your tickets on May 28th so you can see it in theaters starting June 8th. Thank you very much, guys, to everyone that came out. You guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and do a raid, though. I'm definitely feeling a raid right now. We haven't done... I kind of want to, you know, consistently do raids moving forward, so definitely make sure we do that. Hopefully I can find someone here to raid. Here we hold on. YouTube. But everybody who came out to the stream today, you guys were nope. And Dalton, once again, man, Dalton dropped another $500 in total. You're actually a god, Dalton. You're actually a god, bro. Thank you so much for your massive amount of support. I seriously appreciate it, my guy. Let's go ahead and give Gallo a raid. We haven't raided Gallo in an extremely long time. Fantastic streamer. And a good Fortnite player, too. Let me go ahead and open up chats here. Mute this. All right, so if you guys can't click on the link for whatever reason, I know that a lot of times that happens on mobile. Go over to her stream. Her name is Galadrix, Galadriex. Definitely make sure you guys go over there, show her some love and support. Get the hashtag Hennis raid going on. Paying the bills, my man, dude. For real, Dalton, you're like single-handedly keeping me afloat here, man. Just kidding. But definitely make sure you guys go show her some support. Solid Fortnite player. I would really, really appreciate it.
I knew she had taken fall damage there. There's no way you slide down that hill and not take fall damage.
Definitely make sure you guys go show her some love. Wicked nice streamer, too. Hashtag Hennis raid in the chat if you guys haven't done so already.
Where exactly am I going for these?
What's up, Nana B? Welcome to the stream. Oh, heading back into the storm. All right, ballsy move, ballsy move. Oh, damn, she's top 13, actually. Let's see if she can clutch this up.
Ow!
It's worth it, though. Get those heals. Like me. She's focused there right now. I don't even know if she'll notice the chat, but definitely make sure you guys go show some support. I would really, really appreciate it. Hashtag Hennis raid in the chat, guys. Like I said, I think we've already got a lot. We've already got a lot of people over there. Definitely show her some love, guys. Hashtag Hennis raid in the chat. Full raid, a Hennis sent me. Appreciate it, guys. You guys are so nice.
Oh, Hennis raid! Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome.
I screwed up on the pace there.
I can go for 2 wins in a row. I don't think I've ever done that until before. Welcome, everyone. Hennis, thank you so much for the raid. I was watching your stream earlier.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you for joining. I think I see you do random duos.
Yeah, we were doing random duos. Yep.
I just joined and I saw you like trying to AR someone. Your teammate just built you completely out of it. You're like, it's all you now. It's all you. And I laughed about that because that's the type of thing I would say to Dars. But welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for joining. That's awesome.
Definitely make sure you guys drop a like in the stream if you haven't done so already. All right, guys.
I'm trying to see if we can do 2.
Seriously, appreciate all the support. Definitely go show Gala some love, like I said. Here's her link in the chat. Hopefully she'll clutch up that win. Make sure you guys go check her out. And all right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. Like I said, I will be live again tomorrow morning for you guys, hopefully for a 10 a.m. stream. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Twitter's @proHype, and make sure you have on notifications for the channel as well. If you tap the bell icon below the video player, make sure you screenshot it, tweet it at me on Twitter @proHype. I follow every notification squad member back. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. It's been dope. We got some really solid games today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow to continue the grind. Until next time, everybody, keep gaming, and as always, stay cool. Adios.